Hello and welcome back to Seaside Garage. Remember this? This arrived to the garage almost 2 years ago. It's the first joint project together with Bilklubben podcast. This is a proper barn find. It's been standing in a barn for 20 years. The goal for this was to revive it, get it out on the road, get it through an MOT, giving it the Seaside Garage treatment. Nothing too fancy, not a complete restoration, just a revival. First thing was to start up that legendary V6 engine. This engine has not made a sound. It has been completely dead silent for 20 years. Oh yeah, yes, it's moving. It's moving. Whoa. Whoa. I just switched it off because it just revved up. But it did start. What a surprise. First attempt. That wasn't the easiest thing in the world because this got a keypad. I didn't know the code, so it took quite a while to figure out that code. And hopefully this will work because I think it could become a challenge to get another keypad because these are rare cars. Definitely see wear on number 1 right there, and not wear on number 2 and number 3. Those seems to be, it's the shininess I'm looking at. There's a lot of shininess on number 1, but not a lot on number 2 and number 3. There's shininess on number 4 and number 5, not on number 6 it must be. There's a bit of shininess on number. Now I'm just going to write down all possible combinations that I can think of using those 4 numbers and 4 digits. 0, 4, 15. And now it's locked out for 1 minute. I could go ahead and take the positive terminal off and on, then it will reset, so I don't have to wait 1 minute. But I will do that, keep track of where I'm at, and then hopefully at some point the light turns green. 51, 40, As you can see, I ended up taking the keypad apart, finding out which of the numbers had the most wear, and then I found 4 numbers, and then I just had to try all the possible combinations, which is not a lot when you know 4 numbers, on a 4-digit code, and I found the code. A small funny add-on to that story is that I actually now got a picture of a receipt from a mechanic shop back in the 90s who wrote the code down, so now I actually have the code. But it was a fun experience to figure out that code myself. So 1 year ago, I got to the end of the list that I wanted to fix on this. There was still some rust issues and a cracked windscreen. And Bilklubben tried to find somebody else to fix the rest of the stuff, but time has just went on. They had been very busy with other stuff. And this car's just been standing for so long that it's slowly turning into a barn find pretty quickly again. It's getting quite dirty inside and outside, which is a shame because the first thing done to this car was a professional interior clean. Not the exterior, but the interior. And it's about time for it to get another one. There is cobwebs all over the place. But I have decided to give it a go. I want to try to change that windscreen. I want to fix the rest of the rust. And I want to get this car through the MOT. I did so much work to this. It almost feels wrong if somebody else gets the honor of driving this to the MOT station and getting a approved or a failed and a long list of stuff, which will probably happen. So what I want to do today is to start it up and get it back to my garage and take a look at that rust. And honestly, it's going to be exciting to see if it even runs because it's been a year since I put it here. And I don't think you can do anything worse to a car than to not use it. But this has been standing for so long, and I actually... I even forgot the code, so I have to watch my own video. Oh no, as mentioned, I got a picture. 51. Here we go. Let's see whether it will fire up. Oh yeah. A bit noisy on the valves, but it's getting there. Next up, the suspension. Will it rise? And that might take some time. We'll see. Oh yeah, it's coming up. On the back. What about the front? Yeah, it's coming up also. Nice. Need some more clearance for this. There we go. So it's fun to have this back in the garage, and it's still driving. You could hear that the engine had stood still for quite a while. It was quite rattly to begin with. It's gotten a little bit better, but oh, it's poison for cars to stand for so long. There is some rust over there that I found in the last video that I need to fix. I need to try to change this windscreen, and this is something that I haven't gotten a lot of experience in. I've changed quite a few of the old school kind of things, where there's just a rubber strip and a locking strip and so on. These are glued in, so it will be a challenge for sure. I'm going to take a look at that, if I can do that myself, or I will have to get someone out here to do it for me. We'll see what will happen. If anyone in Denmark wants to show me how to do that, feel free to write a comment below, and I will make sure to brew the coffee and help out as best as I can. Otherwise, I'll just have to see if I can do it myself. But here it is, the XM, and here, this is the 3-liter V6 24 valve engine, notorious for different kinds of things, but it's a pretty awesome engine. I really like it. The variable intake system and all that, it's cool. 200 horsepower. It's pretty cool. And it's nice to see that it just fired up at the first try, actually. That was really nice. It is producing a lot of liquid out of the exhaust. I'm pretty sure it's rusty condensation, and I think I can remember that I have been worried about this once before. If it was red coolant, of course, we would have a head gasket issue, or at least an intake issue. There is a common issue where these leak between the liners and the block, which is a big problem. I am pretty sure, I seem to remember that I had that worry once before and tested and found out that it was just rusty water, and they apparently produce a lot of condensation when they are cold started, these engines. So it's nice to see it's running still. It is still smelling like, you know, that smell on a cold day at the side of the road on the highway waiting for assistance. But pretty much all cool French cars has that smell. There's still one big worry. The shock absorber towers, they can unglue themselves and punch through the bonnet. Bilklubben decided not to worry about that before the car got through the MOT. But there is a chance they will blow before that. So I'm just going to have to cross my fingers that that won't happen. I could also weld in a brace just in case something goes loose, so it doesn't damage the bonnet at least. But we'll just have to see. Anyway, if you're new to the channel and don't know about this car, I highly suggest to check out the playlist. There's a link down in the description. I already showed a lot of clips from those videos, but there is a lot of content if you like this car. And it's a very interesting car, and it's a big challenge for me. Remember, I'm not a professional mechanic. I'm an educated social worker. I learn as I go. I learned a lot on this car because it is insanely complicated for the kind of cars that I normally work on. This is a 91 model, so of course it can't be that complicated, but trust me, this is a complicated engine. It's a complicated management system. There is 6, maybe even 7 of these hydraulic balls in this system. They are coupled together with a lot of electronics, so it is complicated. You can change between the suspension modes in this, not just the height, but also the firmness. This is way ahead of its time, like pretty much all Citroens were, until time catched up with them and they became boring. Sorry to say. Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget you can support me. There's a Patreon link down below, and see you in the next one where I most likely will start that rust repair.